Hey guys, so the previous video I uploaded was about my dad's reaction when War Machine was T-boned. Before War Machine was T-boned, the car was named Grumpy, and uh, being T-boned by a Yukon XL and coming close to driving away is what earned War Machine the name. So I have another story for you on my dad's reaction to another near-death experience. Now, mind you, in the other video, I have told you he's been this way with everybody in the family, not just me. So the thing is, there was a sergeant who would not stop trying to play mental warfare with me because I would tell them what civil and constitutional rights they were breaking. And so one day it came up where he told me I just need to let it go when I had said if he didn't want me to not give him a headache, then uh, innocent people shouldn't be thrown in jail. And he said, well, you just need to let that go. And yeah, I know a lot of you who, you're going to, his name was Sergeant Helton of Henderson County. And yeah, just let it go. I mean, come on. Anyway, I had said, here's my dad's name, here's my dad's number. Call him, ask him if I ever let anything go. Well, my dad called the next day. He told an officer to tell me to call him, which means he was contacted, which I kind of find funny. So he found out I was in jail, and he he found every way to demonize the man that saved my life. Um, he even hated my car after it saved my life when I was T-boned, and he could only find something wrong with the guy. And I finally piped up this time, and I'm like, you only care about the insurance money. And "Oh, no, 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 I don't." Of course, my mom's in the background. Yes, you do. And so he did not want to know if I was okay. He didn't care. He kept making jailbird comments about me, even though I'd never been in trouble in my entire life before that, and shouldn't have been in trouble at that time either. And he was not supportive. There was no "I love you." Oh my God, someone almost killed you. It was just instant anger that I wasn't dead. Um, Extreme hostility towards the man that saved my life. And he has been like that with even my friends. When because I would be in video chat back when I was on PlayStation Home with friends, and he would start a fight, and they would hear it from the video chat, and he could hear them disagreeing with the way he treats his family, and he disagreed with them because they were wrong. How dare they question him, and he's right. And I mean, they've heard him yelling at my sister before too, because our rooms were right next door. And they've heard him yelling at my mom and her dogs. uh he had a 2-acre lot, and 2-acre yard, and people could hear us up at the street screaming at each other. It was a match of who's loudest, and usually I had to dumb my intelligence down to match his. He was one of those people where if you just walked away from the fight, he would follow you and provoke you and kick down your door, which he had done with me and my other sister in the past, both my sisters actually, in the past. It is to the point that when my nephew turned 18, he was so sick of the way our father was treating his mother that he started telling my dad off. And he had actually decided he didn't want kids because he didn't want a woman because women that don't want kids are broken, and he didn't want kids. So, I mean, I don't know if that's changed since then. That was many, many years ago. But he actually got that impression from my father. He has repeatedly told my father to stop yelling at his mother and to stop calling her names. And her husband has done the same thing as well. And she also moved out because of the way he was. Everybody did. My oldest brother moved out and joined the military at 18 to get away from him. And he was born way before me, and he's the biological son. So he did treat his sons better than his daughters, but um, there was one favorite out of all 5 kids, and that was my older brother, but I have 2 older brothers, so it wasn't oldest brother. And when he was talking to me over the phone, he would repeatedly uh, make demeaning comments, even though it was a recorded line. He'd even once told me that I should kill myself and I'm fat and ugly. And then when he told an officer to tell me to call after I stopped talking to him, and I called him just to remind him why I stopped talking to him, so I don't have to put up with you. And for about 10 years now, he's been getting dementia that has slowly gotten worse, and he was trying to accuse me of stealing things when I moved to Gastonia. This is somebody who would lose his work briefcase since I was like 15 and accuse anybody within eyesight of stealing it, and then find it where he left it later because he forgot where he put it. I mean, he did that all the time. So it didn't matter if it was me or another member of the family. Usually it would be a female member of the family, more often than not, that he would accuse of stealing his things. And that was one thing I was tired of. I was tired of his paranoia. I was tired of his hostility, his toxic personality. He didn't even love himself. Like I said, he wasn't the kind of narcissist that hated everybody but himself. He hated everybody, including his family, and he also hated himself. And we all had tried to get him to get help, and he had refused. And so this is, a glimpse of what I grew up with, and the glimpse gives you a good idea of why I had service animals to begin with. The more stories I post about him, and I do wonder, what's your opinion on that? On the way he acted, not just towards me, but towards family. Um, but for him to he didn't care that I had lived. He wasn't saying, "Yeah, I know you did nothing wrong." He wasn't saying, "Well, who saved your life?" Because I want to thank this man. He wasn't. He was angry with John for saving my life. He was irrationally angry about it, just like he had an irrational hatred for my car after it was T-boned and I lived. Um, and he repeatedly, when he'd had esophageal cancer, used it as an excuse to treat his family like dirt. And he actually made one of my friends, who's a 4-tour veteran of Iraq that I've known for years. He taught me how to take care of my car. He was like the father I never had. And I drove to Florida from Charlotte back in 2020 for my sister's baby shower, and then to see my friend who was like my father before I came back. And I had been complaining about a noise by my front passenger wheel at the time, which ended up being the caliper. And my friend drove it down the road, and he knew exactly what it was. I had been asking my father for help fixing it because it felt dangerous. Sometimes it wouldn't stop the right way. And he called my dad, and he said, it was on my phone. He told him what he fixed and what it was, and he said, this could have killed your daughter. And my dad's specific response was, "Oh, okay," in a flat, emotionless tone. "Well, thank you for fixing it." And my friend took my phone and almost threw it into the ground in his yard. And he gathered his strength to not throw it, knowing it was not his. And he gave it back to me, and he said, "Don't ever let me meet your father." He said if that was my daughter, because the problem with that caliper had actually started because I made somebody angry by refusing to be a doormat, and they messed with a brake line on that tire. And that's why he was so angry about it, because he knew someone had done something to it, and that I had been complaining about it for a while. And so he said that basically it could have killed me on the way to Florida or home from Florida. And these are, you're only hearing a fraction of the stories I have about this man. He's absolutely insane. But he thinks the rest of the world is insane, and anybody that disagrees with him is insane. He's so afraid of the world outside that he tried to keep me from getting out into the world. So I do everything I can every day. Um, I make sure that I don't act like him. I don't treat people the way that he treated people. And then if I do treat somebody badly, they did something to warrant it, and they did something severe. Because I will generally let small shit go. Don't mess with my finances, my car, or my dogs. That's when shit gets ugly. And I'm sure all of us feel that way. Some can add family into the equation, but the only family I had was my dogs. So, there you go.